Hi guys, it's DKW Schnellaster Hartig Supervans project. Today we're going to look at some of the dimensional measurements I'm taking to try and find out where these structures are finally supposed to land. So just as an intro, I don't know, you can't see that, I'll show that to you later. There's a little laser beam up here on a ladder in the front of the vehicle. It's over there, and then what I had to do is I had to use this system with a triangle and the center here at the bottom of the triangle, or a 90 degree from here up, and then actually use a pendulum to calibrate the spirit level both on the laser and just a normal spirit level. I've got several spirit levels that I've also compared them to. These are now properly calibrated. So let's carry on. So what I've done is I found the center line by measuring with a two-stick method. I mentioned the two-stick method before. Basically it's two flat sticks, preferably of a nice dimension and straight, obviously. And then one just slides them within the measurement area across. You can then make a mark, or tape them down, or clamp them down, and then obviously use that as a reference for the other mark. So I found the center mark in the vehicle. I then hung pendulums, strings down on that center line, finding the top so that I just touch the edge of the board at the bottom. It's a straight board, or the edge is straight, should I say. And I've taken measurements with a stick method. Now from the center to there, and from that center to there, and so forth, in different places. I've come across some measurements that don't correspond quite. We're a little bit out here by about 5 mil still. We're too far there. This has been repaired before and so on. I'm still in the process now to finally get it into the final position before I carry on with the welding of the structure. Once I'm happy with this, I'm going to also hang the door to make sure that I've got everything fitting. At the top here, there's obviously still something that's not right here. One can see there's a slight bow in it. It's had a lot of damage over the years. It was a company car. This dent I will remove soon, also to help me to get the door in the right dimensions. It does affect the door, it pulls it over here, and possibly on the hinge as well a bit, of course. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take dimensions across, like that and like that, at different points. And those points, the points I use are basically the similar points you find on either side where the structures have either a joint mark so that I know I'm on exactly the same place, or sometimes I use holes. The holes are always punched in exactly the same places, unless they're just the random screw holes sometimes for paneling. That doesn't work. That one has to then be careful of. Yeah, so everywhere basically across the corners, and then you can see whether you're off square. It is not ideal without all the highly technical stuff, equipment one can get nowadays. But yeah, so we're going to carry on. I'm going to try and switch the laser on and just show you how I line up make sure that my lines are also according to the laser in line. Just a double check. I've done it before. It takes a bit of fiddling. You can't see the little laser. I'll show you in a moment or two, but I'm hoping that you can see there's one on the first string now of the laser. I don't know if you can see that there. So now I'm going to try and adjust this so that I get all three. There, I nearly had them. There we go. I can find them all three. I've got a very light coloring now on the middle one. The middle one is ever so slightly off. So what I've also done, because I can do this now, I can use these lines and move the laser up and down, then find the lines again. And then I don't want to go that way because I might just look into the laser. So I'm going to switch it off again. So what I can do with the laser beam and in conjunction with these lines is I can angle it down to any position on the center line where there are no lines, thereby allowing me to also take measurements from there to there. So basically what I do there is I use a proper, should I say, a ruler, a long ruler, and then just bring it into the laser beam, just as it lights up. Then I know, or obviously the easier way, whenever possible, is to put the one end against the body and then read the actual marking. But I found it better almost if one can just use the end of it. Also because you don't want to stare into the thing too much. I'm going to show you the little laser, very cheap little laser apparatus. I'm going to take the camera out. There it is. My screen's turned off, so let me see if I can turn the screen on, if it's still recording. Yes, okay, we're going to go and have a close look at that. It's just a little tripod. It has telescopic legs, and one can swivel it in either direction at the top, but it's not self-leveling, unfortunately. It does have a spirit level on there, but yeah, that I'm not using right now. The reason that it's not really very convenient is because you can't swivel it and find the center on all sides. So if you could swivel it, and well, then you need a self-leveling laser. So I've also done the laser down the sides, and I can also see when I put the laser down this side here that I try and touch all the pillars at certain positions, and the middle pillar is also showing up to be out according to the measurement. The big trick here is that one needs to remember is when you do the measurement from the center to the outside is that it could be correct, but that the whole frame is actually bent over to the one side or the other side. So that's where your diagonal measurements come in and help you to establish whether you're off on your squares. Yeah, I think that's all for today, and then I'm going to rig up some pulling jacking mechanism, which I'm going to fasten to the chassis, and then use that to pull that pillar in. This one here, this middle one. This one's had so much work done on it over the years, and I've also had a go at it. Basically thumb sucking it up to this point, and now it's 5 millimeters still to go. I don't know if you guys recall, inside here we had a hell of a big tear. The screens are switched off again. We have load shedding here again, the second time today, so you may hear a big generator in the background running from the dairy next door. And the weather's fantastic. And then here at the back I've done a measurement as well across. We're still slightly out here, so I still have to bring that top of that pillar that way a little bit. It's quite a tricky one, this, because everything got bent in, including the inner fender, it seems. So that's pretty much been bashed out. There's still a bit of a hump here, which points to the fact that there's most likely still, and that correlates to the diagonal measurement, that actually this whole area must go out. The impact was all the way down here, and also on the corner it's had quite a few impacts, so it's not just one prang. With that, of course, we had this floor structure, the back square where the floor fits in. It's got a wooden floor that then fits in all these different squares or rectangles. And yeah, here we were also very out on the square. We're pretty much there now on the diagonal measurement. We were at simultaneously, this corner was down by, I'd say, 25 mils at least. So yeah, that's also been sorted out. I checked that with a straight edge right across. Sorry, you can't see my hands. So I checked that with a straight edge right across all the structures, which are supposedly to be on the same height, so that they match up with the floor. So that helps. Okay, the next time I'm going to switch it on, then I'm going to carry on with some bending. Over and out. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe and all those things. That'll be great. Thank you. Bye.